André Rieu was more than a violinist. He was a beacon of joy who turned classical music into a universal celebration. Known for his shimmering performances and infectious energy, he captivated audiences across the globe. Yet behind the applause and standing ovations was a man shaped by hardship, illness, and relentless determination. His life story is not just about fame or talent, but resilience, love, and the pursuit of beauty in a world that often demanded perfection. From a rigid childhood to stadium-filling concerts, André's journey reflects the power of music to heal, inspire, and transform. This is the story of a man whose greatest battles were not on stage, but within his own heart. A childhood of discipline and silence. André Rieu's early life was shaped by rigid discipline and emotional restraint, which left deep marks on his personality and approach to music. Born in 1949 in Maurice, he grew up in a home where order and precision were prioritized above warmth and affection. His father, a respected conductor, demanded perfection, while his mother equated obedience with love. The household was one of silence and restraint, where laughter and praise were uncommon, and emotions were often regarded as signs of weakness. André, the third of 6 children, had to navigate this environment carefully, learning to comply with expectations while hiding his feelings. Amid this emotional austerity, the violin became his sanctuary. Music offered him a rare avenue to explore his inner world, providing a sense of comfort and expression that he could not find at home. While the strict upbringing honed his technical precision, the lack of nurturing instilled in him a profound empathy and sensitivity. These early experiences laid the foundation for his ability to connect with audiences emotionally, as his performances would eventually convey not just skill, but heartfelt expression. The gift of a first teacher. André's life took a transformative turn when he met his first violin teacher, a young woman whose warmth and patience were a stark contrast to his home environment. She taught him that music was not merely about notes and technique, but about expressing emotions, from joy to sorrow and wonder. For 5-year-old André, who had grown up in silence and emotional neglect, her encouragement was revolutionary. She allowed him to feel the music fully, instilling in him a sense of freedom and creativity that had previously been inaccessible. Practicing the violin became a source of personal joy rather than duty. Through her guidance, he learned that discipline and technique could serve a higher purpose, conveying emotion and connecting with others. This experience not only nurtured his talent, but also shaped his understanding of love and encouragement. It demonstrated the profound impact a supportive mentor can have on a young mind. The lessons from this early relationship became integral to his life and career, shaping both his musical philosophy and his belief in the transformative power of compassion and guidance, rebellion, and the pursuit of joy. As André grew older, his personal taste in music diverged from the rigid expectations imposed by his father. He gravitated toward waltzes and melodies that celebrated life, which his father dismissed as frivolous. This conflict became a turning point, teaching André that music could be both disciplined and joyful. Each performance he gave was a subtle act of defiance, an assertion of authenticity over conformity. He learned to merge technical precision with emotional depth, creating music that was alive and resonant rather than merely correct. This period helped define his philosophy. Music should connect and uplift, not simply demonstrate skill. The love for waltzes, previously seen as rebellious, would become his signature, a celebration of life and an embodiment of freedom through art. By embracing joy and emotion, André established a framework for his later work, showing that personal authenticity could transform not only a musician's career, but also the experience of audiences. This phase was crucial in forging his identity as a musician who prioritized heart over formal approval, setting the stage for his future impact. Love and the escape from home. André's relationship with Marjorie in the late 1960s provided the emotional refuge that had been absent in his childhood. Warm, intelligent, and supportive, she represented the love and understanding he had never experienced at home. When his parents rejected her, André made the decisive choice to leave, asserting his independence and commitment to a life defined by affection rather than obligation. Together, he and Marjorie built a life grounded in mutual respect, love, and shared dreams. Her support extended beyond personal encouragement into practical guidance, helping him navigate the uncertainties of pursuing a musical career. This period demonstrates the profound impact of a nurturing relationship, illustrating that family can be chosen and that support and care can fuel creativity. Marjorie's presence allowed André to cultivate confidence and resilience, reinforcing his vision for a life and career centered around joy and human connection. The escape from home marked both a personal and professional liberation, giving him the emotional stability to fully embrace his potential and pursue his passion for music. The birth of a musical dream. André's early experiences performing in traditional orchestras exposed a gap between technical skill and emotional resonance. Musicians often played mechanically, audiences were detached, and the performances lacked vitality. Recognizing this, André envisioned a different kind of music, one that genuinely moved people. In 1978, he founded the Maastricht Salon Orchestra with minimal resources and no guarantee of success. Starting small, they performed at weddings, community centers, and small venues, focusing on connection and joy rather than prestige. Despite financial instability, André's commitment never wavered. Each performance reinforced his belief that music should evoke emotion and build a shared experience. These formative years exemplify the courage required to pursue art driven by heart rather than commercial gain, as well as the persistence needed to continue despite skepticism and hardships. By prioritizing emotional resonance over perfection, André began shaping a philosophy that would define his career. Music is most powerful when it touches hearts, not just impresses minds. This early pursuit laid the foundation for his later innovation and global recognition. Rising recognition and the Strauss Orchestra. By 1987, André's perseverance bore fruit with the creation of the Johann Strauss Orchestra. The group sought to revive waltzes and classical music in a joyful and accessible format, challenging conventional norms. Their debut in 1988 rejected stiff formalities, embracing humor, color, and audience interaction. Critics initially dismissed this approach as frivolous, but audiences responded with enthusiasm. This moment validated André's philosophy. Music should be inclusive, celebratory, and emotionally engaging. By defying tradition, he showed that innovation in classical music was possible without compromising artistic integrity. The Strauss Orchestra became a vehicle for his vision, demonstrating that connecting with audiences emotionally was as vital as technical mastery. This phase marked a crucial turning point, positioning André to expand his influence internationally. His willingness to challenge norms set a precedent for the future, proving that authenticity and a desire to inspire could redefine public perceptions of classical music and establish a unique, enduring artistic identity. The breakthrough at UEFA Champions League. In 1995, André achieved global recognition with a performance at the UEFA Champions League final in Vienna. Performing for 50,000 spectators and hundreds of millions watching on television, he transformed a sports halftime show into a musical celebration. His rendition of classical waltzes reached audiences unfamiliar with concert halls, bridging cultural and genre divides. Following the performance, his album Strauss and Kummer achieved worldwide success, selling millions of copies and topping charts for weeks. This period marked the beginning of the Rieu effect, a phenomenon where classical music became widely accessible and commercially viable. André's ability to combine technical mastery with emotional resonance allowed him to engage a diverse global audience. This breakthrough validated his approach of prioritizing connection and joy over rigid adherence to traditional norms. By reaching audiences who would never have attended classical concerts, he demonstrated that music's true power lies in its ability to inspire, entertain, and unite people, transforming public perception and elevating his career to international acclaim. Global stardom and innovation. By the early 2000s, André had become a global sensation. His concerts filled stadiums, DVDs dominated charts, and recordings reached millions. He redefined the classical music experience, turning performances into immersive spectacles, including a full-scale replica of Vienna's Schönbrunn Palace as a stage. Critics often ridiculed these innovations, but André remained committed to his vision of music as a shared emotional experience. His global stardom illustrated that classical music could compete with popular genres when presented with passion, creativity, and audience engagement. André's approach was both revolutionary and humanizing. Performances celebrated life and joy, rather than hierarchy or prestige. By prioritizing connection over conformity, he inspired audiences worldwide, proving that innovation in classical music was possible without abandoning its core beauty. His work during this period solidified his role as a transformative figure, demonstrating that art could thrive when it embraced emotion, accessibility, and spectacle, making music a living communal experience that transcended traditional boundaries. Battles with illness. In 2010, André faced a serious challenge when a viral infection damaged his vestibular nerve, disrupting his balance. For a violinist, this threat was career-altering, as precision and poise are central to performance. The illness forced him into months of physical and emotional struggle, temporarily halting concerts and dispersing the orchestra. Recovery required immense patience, medical intervention, and support from fans, reflecting both his vulnerability and his resilience. Returning to the stage after this ordeal was triumphant, but also transformative. André's awareness of his physical limitations changed how he approached performance, balancing passion with care. This chapter demonstrated that even the most accomplished and seemingly invincible artists face human fragility. His perseverance inspired others, showing that setbacks can be met with determination, adaptation, and grace. The experience added depth to his performances, as audiences could sense the courage and effort behind each note. The illness became a testament to his strength and dedication, enriching his legacy with lessons on resilience, humility, and the human capacity to overcome adversity. Personal loss and emotional depth. Tragedy struck again in 2016 when André's close friend and trombonist, R.D.E. Merckx, passed away suddenly. The loss was deeply personal, prompting cancellations of scheduled shows and a period of mourning. This experience added new emotional layers to André's music, blending joy with an awareness of life's impermanence. His performances became more poignant, reflecting both celebration and grief, and audiences responded to the honesty and depth conveyed through his art. The event demonstrated that personal experiences, including sorrow, can enhance creativity, allowing artists to connect more meaningfully with their audiences. André's ability to channel grief into musical expression showed emotional maturity and reinforced the humanizing power of music. This period emphasized that an artist's life experiences shape their work, creating performances that resonate on multiple levels. By embracing both joy and loss, André deepened the emotional authenticity of his concerts, strengthening his connection with audiences and highlighting the transformative power of music as a vessel for empathy, reflection, and shared human experience. The collapse in Mexico and reevaluation. In 2024, André's relentless schedule led to a collapse during a tour in Mexico City. Exhaustion, altitude, and illness combined to overwhelm him, forcing the cancellation of multiple shows. For someone who had rarely missed a performance, this was a critical turning point. His son Pierre took over logistical responsibilities, restructuring tours to reduce travel, incorporate rest, and ensure safety. André learned to balance his passion for performance with physical limitations, redefining his understanding of success in later life. This moment emphasized the importance of self-care and the reality that even legendary performers must respect their bodies. It marked a transition from relentless pursuit to mindful practice, highlighting the need to protect longevity over immediate achievement. The collapse became both a warning and a lesson, reminding him and his audience that greatness is not only about endurance, but also about sustainability, reflection, and the courage to adapt. By embracing these changes, André ensured his music could continue to reach hearts without compromising health, a legacy of joy and resilience. Today, André Rieu continues to perform, though with a more thoughtful and reflective approach. His concerts carry the warmth of experience, blending music, love, and gratitude. His son Pierre manages logistics, ensuring safety and continuity, while Marjorie remains an active creative partner. André's empire spans multiple properties, philanthropy, and global influence, demonstrating how dedication, emotional connection, and resilience can create a lasting impact. His story shows that music is more than performance. It is a conduit for human emotion, joy, and healing. By navigating illness, personal loss, and the challenges of aging, André has maintained artistic integrity while evolving his approach. His work exemplifies the enduring power of music to inspire, comfort, and connect, highlighting that joy, once discovered, can become a lifelong mission. André's journey affirms that true artistry encompasses both human vulnerability and the capacity to uplift, leaving a legacy that will resonate for generations to come.